TV. Before I get into this video, as always, I want to remind you guys that if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to Too Raw for TV, please subscribe to Too Raw for TV. I'd like to thank all the people that subscribed to my channel over the past month, really, a lot of people. I'd like to also uh, remind you that if you set notification bell and you haven't hit it, please hit it so that you'll be notified of any and every video that drops on my channel as soon as my video drops. And also, if you like or at least appreciate the content on my channel, please hit the like button. These are things that will help not only my channel, but other channels that you're subscribed to in the LDBC, the Lions Den basketball community, be that much stronger. If you choose to, if you can, if you want to show love for Too Raw for TV, you could do so via the PayPal or the Cash App. I'd like to thank everybody that has donated to my channel over the past several months since I started putting that option up. I think it was back in May. And also, if you want to support Too Raw for TV on Patreon, you can do so in the link in the description box. I think I have well over 40 videos on Patreon. I'm going to try to upload again on Patreon later on today. And I thank everybody that's supporting me so far on Patreon. I think everybody that's signed up on Patreon so far. And on Patreon, of course, I'm able to talk about stuff I can't talk about on YouTube. Now, I want to talk about the Lakers. All right, the Lakers last night played the Toronto Raptors, and this is the thing. All right, some people are going to say, you know, Too Raw, Big Mike, whatever you want to call me. You're overreacting. It's too early. You know, it's a lot more basketball left to go, and it's true. It's true. It's a lot more basketball left to go. Now, when the Lakers lost to the Clippers opening night, I kind of was like, well, you know, it's one game. I'm not going to trip too hard. Although the psychological battle between Kawhi and LeBron, uh, Kawhi took a one up. You know what I'm saying? And bragging rights. But I was like, okay, well, that's one game. But when you look at the fact that the Lakers lost to the Raptors last night, it's very disconcerting because first of all, I'm pretty sure everybody thought going into that game the Lakers would beat the Raptors and might beat them handily. The Raptors, of course, lost Kawhi Leonard last year via free agency. And then, to add insult to injury, they lost Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka, two main cogs for that team, to injury. So, going into last night's game, you thought that the Lakers, and I did, the Lakers had a very good shot at beating that team rather handily. But actually, the Lakers imploded, in particular LeBron James, down the stretch of that game in the fourth quarter. LeBron James was, I believe, only 2 of 10 from the floor in the fourth quarter. And I think overall he was only 5 of 15 from the field. I think that's what he shot. And right now, LeBron James is shooting 47% from the floor, which is still pretty good, but below his career mark of 50.4%. This is the thing, though. Yes, the Lakers are 7-2. Yes, that's still a great record. But the problem that the Lakers have now is similar to the problem that they had last year. A good start is essential, usually, for a long playoff run. Now, there's exceptions. If you have a main guy out, okay, if you have a main guy out for an extended period of time, then of course you're not expected to be atop the standings, but you're at least supposed to ride the ship, at least keep the ship afloat until that guy comes back. But the Lakers really don't have that problem. Yes, they don't have Rondo, but you know, 7-2 is not bad, but it is a little alarming when you look at how competitive the Western Conference is right now. And even though some people say, "Oh man, you bullshit." I remember when the Lakers signed Anthony Davis, there were so many fans, and you guys can attest to this who observed, right? I remember there was so many LeBron fans and some Laker fans that were saying, "Oh, championship. Oh, we're gonna win 70 games. We're gonna go 74-8. We're gonna go 70-12. Give us the chip right now." I remember that shit because this was just before Kawhi announced he was signed with the Clippers. 'Cause a lot of people still was thinking, "Oh, we're gonna get Kawhi. We're gonna get AD. We're gonna blah 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 blah." So now here we are. The Lakers are 7-2, but mathematically right now, and I know it's just November, and it's kind of, I get that. But mathematically right now, the Lakers are only 2 games out of the playoff contention. You know, if this was April, the Lakers would be out of the playoffs. Now I understand it's November. I get that. But like I was saying, the NBA, the Western Conference, and the NBA in particular, but the Western Conference in particular, is much more competitive than it was last year. And you gotta remember the Lakers dropped a lot of early games last year. Remember they lost a lot of easy games. And I vividly remember Ticket TV saying that these games were going to come back to haunt the Lakers. And I kind of agree with him. I didn't foresee LeBron's injury. None of us did. That added more decimation to their playoff hopes and dreams and aspirations. But those early losses really hurt the Lakers. You got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. You got to do it. Okay. Um, it's not like the Showtime Lakers. I know a lot is made of the fact that some people say, well, the Lakers really didn't have any competition in the '80s in the West. There were some good teams. Toward the beginning, it was the Seattle Sonics. They had won the title. You know what I'm saying? You had the Denver Nuggets with Alex English and Kiki Vandeweghe earlier on. Kiki was on that team. All right. You had the Portland Trailblazers during that time period. Later on, you had the emergence of John Stockton and Carmelo on the Utah Jazz. The Golden State Warriors had a little run one year. What do they have on that team? Sleepy Floyd, Purvis Short, come to mind. I can't remember if Joe Barry Carroll was still on that team. Might have been. But the point is, they had some competition. The Houston Rockets beat them a couple times in the playoffs. But for the most part, the Lakers took care of business during the regular season to get that high playoff seeding so they didn't have to worry about not having home court advantage or even make the playoffs. Now, a lot of these teams that were terrible last year, like the Kings and the Suns and what have you, some of these teams now, especially the Suns, are tough out. And if you aren't careful, the Suns will jump on your ass and blitzkrieg you. And you'll have to come back from 15 to 20 points in the first half. And basically, my point is, because some people say I take too long to get to my points, this shit ain't going to be easy, okay? Is that straight to the point? This is not going to be a cakewalk. Last year, I remember coming into the season, I had conversations with people that, claimed they know basketball, and they would say, well, look, LeBron James himself going to give you 15 wins. Just his presence alone will give you 15 wins because they listen to the talking heads on TV, all right, and gobble that shit up, all right? So they was like, look, they're going to win 50 games just with LeBron James. Then when the guys get acclimated, hey, they're gonna win 60 games. I'm like, they're not going to win 60 games, man. All right, they're not going to win 60 games. This isn't the Eastern Conference. They're not going to win 60 games. I said, I see Lakers at best, and this is if they have a great season, going 50-32. But I think they're going to go like 48-34, 49-33, and that was without the injury. You know what I'm saying? And without losing some of those early games. So this was last year. Now you have the emergence of some really good teams. Kawhi Leonard's in the Western Conference now. You know, you have Russell Westbrook and James Harden in Houston. And this is the thing. the Lakers somehow, some way, lose to the Golden State Warriors, I think it's Wednesday. If they lose to the Golden State Warriors because they play a back to back, I think they play the Suns tomorrow. And then right after that, they play the Warriors. If they lose to the Warriors in any type of way, I mean, look, you can't afford to lose to a team like that. You know, like this two. Look, the thing about the NBA, it's a grind. Okay, it's a grind, and there's some nights where mentally, you might not be up against this opponent, but you got to take care of business. You got to take care of business, and you got to beat these cellar dweller teams, or it's going to come back to haunt you. We've had this conversation last season. All right, AD doesn't look like AD. You know, I looked at his averages. He's averaging like 25 and 10 or something like that. Or, I expected AD to be averaging like 29 and 13 or 14. AD's not 100%. He's hurt. All right. LeBron James is 34 years old, going on 35. Be 35 years old in like, what, 6 weeks? All right. He's playing a position on the floor that handles, that carries a lot of responsibility and usually a lot of energy. Okay, you gotta have a lot of energy and stamina to play the point guard position. Um, I can see a lot of. There's already like a little dissension with JaVale McGee with his minutes as far as Dwight Howard and shit. Kuzma, who knows the fuck going on with him, man? I can see a lot of recipe for disharmony, chemistry issues. I don't want to say disaster because I think this team is still too talented to miss the playoffs. But you don't want to go through the regular season losing to teams that you should beat, and all of a sudden, you finish the season 48-34. You're like, how in the fuck this team only won 48 games? And then you see that you're like third or fourth in the standings, and you're the fucking Lakers. I've been trying hard not to really go in on LeBron James this year, because I didn't like some of the shit that went on during the off season with him being a target of dumbass questions, him being a target of or a right wing, attack, and people questioning his skills as a father, his responsibilities, and his job as being a father. That type of shit rubbed me the wrong way. So I said to myself, maybe it's wrong, but I'm being more conscious. I'm trying not to be as critical of him as I was in the past. But I gotta say this: LeBron James, one of the biggest knocks on him is as talented as he is, as great an overall basketball player as he's been. One thing, or a couple things that he lacks is that killer instinct, if you want to call it that, that most of the all-time greats had. And sometimes LeBron, to me, he can be intimidated psychologically. I've seen far lesser players, Jason Terry, Deshaun Stevenson, punk LeBron. I've seen LeBron James be beaten up psychologically by certain players on teams. It's like sometimes the game requires a guy who's going to say, fuck it, nobody else is doing anything. I got to take the last shot. I got to take this key shot. I got to, I'm going to have to take over the game. And LeBron James in Cleveland the first time would do that much more often than he didn't. If you recall, you really didn't hear a lot of that until, honestly, 2009-ish. That's when I first started seeing like this guy kind of doubting himself, or or overthinking certain situations. Because the LeBron James from 2000, I'd say 4, 5 to 2007, 8, that dude was a killer. That dude was a beast. All right. I would see him take shots, without deciding. Now, he would make the right basketball play a lot of times, but if it came down to him taking the shot, he would do it. But this guy is not the same player. That's why I get so frustrated when I keep hearing people saying, "Oh man, he's still in his prime." No, he's not. No, he's not. This is not the same dude from Cleveland or even Miami. He's not. And him playing that point guard position is going to wear him down. They need Rondo back and have LeBron play off ball, man, because this shit is going to wear him down. I know he likes padding his stats. He likes getting his triple doubles. I get it. But this shit is going to wear him down, and it's going to make him more susceptible to injury. We already saw him have one of those non-contact old man injuries last year. He's in tremendous shape, which will cut down on the chances of an injury. But this shit, playing this position is going to wear him down, and that's the point, man. You know what I'm saying? I like LeBron James, but he's not the player that he once was, and I still get that impression that LeBron James just doesn't have the fire that he once did. He has it, but he doesn't have that burning passion. I don't know, man. Some people just look at it like will just look at it like I'm hating, but I can just look at LeBron and tell that he wants to win. Don't get me wrong, all right? But he doesn't have the burning passion, desire, that fuel, that fury that a guy like Kobe or Mike or now Kawhi. It's a difference. It's a difference. Not to make a political analogy, but I remember reading something that Roger Stone said that Richard Nixon said to him one time when he was talking about Lyndon Johnson. And both of them were very competitive in the field of politics, and both of them aspired to be president. But Richard Nixon said the difference between him and Lyndon Johnson was that both of them wanted to be president bad. Both of them wanted to be president. But the difference between him and Lyndon Johnson is that Lyndon Johnson would kill for the office, literally. And Nixon wouldn't go that far with it. I'm not saying it's a morally right thing to do, to kill your boss. You all know I'm getting at with that. But that's the difference between Lyndon Johnson and Animal and Richard Nixon. Very, very competitive guy, but he had his limits. And that's kind of what I'm saying here. LeBron James wants to win another championship. He does. But Kawhi Leonard would figuratively kill someone on the court to get a victory. Don't be fooled by that, placid Huckleberry Finn demeanor. Kawhi Leonard is an absolute killer, cutthroat. He went to the Clippers specifically because he felt that's a team that he won a championship with. LeBron James, this is something Colin Cowherd said, and I agree with. LeBron James went to the Lakers because he felt that was a good business decision. Okay. I just feel in my heart, man, I might be wrong, but I don't think this Lakers team is going to win the title. And then, people are going to say to me come June, you know what, Turah, you're right. LeBron's a great player, but it's a difference between him and some of these other guys. And I'll be like, I see. That's why I'm hesitant to put him in my top 10. I have him at number 11. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James is justified to be a top 10 player if you look at his statistics, but there's just something different. There's a psychological difference between LeBron James and the guys are in my top 10. There's just something that he lacks up here and pounding in that chest. It's just something different. It's not quite the same.